So then, while applying your while applying your time off or whatever, like what is the method what you're using right now?
See, actually, some vendor has configured everything for us, and we went live. And now the system is with us.
Mm-hmm.
So where we are making some changes in existing time off plan or creating new time off and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what exactly you are asking. No, I guess we don't use absence calendar. I don't know. Like we have not used this BP yet. We have only used request time off, correct time off, and the corresponding for the same BP corresponding BPs for the leave of absence or for the leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we exactly don't know whether
That
it
means
is
like request
we
absence,
have to
right?
use this or not.
Okay. Fine. First thing is like you should need a calendar for applying your time off, right? Time off, or if you want to track your time or whatever, thing is required is like absence calendar is required. So here we have a default definition called as absence calendar. So once you configure this, you should be able to uh, I mean, like not only you, all the employees will be able to see the absence calendar as well as like the managers. So here we have the default definition and initiation step. Actually, no one is there. So what we'll do is like we'll go and configure the business process security policy, because we have to see like who are all able to initiate the business, initiate this calendar process, right? So here we can see initiating request absence, who can do is employee ourselves. Yeah, absence administrator, current my absence. So this is all set actually. So once we'll see, yeah, you can see the calendar right over here. So this is the calendar what we want, and you can see like time of plans also and how many hours you are eligible for that. You can see all the things over here and what are the time offs which are not eligible for you to apply. So once you click on any of the days like this, it will show you. So this is the way how you test like whether your time off plans whether they are working or not. See here.
Get you like what was the use of absence calendar with that BP? What when that BP got triggered? When we click absence calendar or when we click on request time off some from our dashboard, that particular BP get
See
triggered.
request time off, what you have to do is we have this absence calendar default definition, right? So we have to copy
Right.
that one. Yeah, copy and make it into a custom business process, saying like request time off task. So here we have, for this default thing we have request absence, but we can make it into a copy and we can make it as like request time off as well. So when you create when you go into this task like request time off, it should be able to show the same calendar for us. So it is showing the same calendar. So here the calendar container entries, that means like it is not properly defined over here in this tenant, that is why it is showing error. So let's check what is the business process.
So when we complete this process, request time of which BP will get triggered, absence calendar one or the request time of BP?
Request time of BP.
So what is the
That
use of
calendar
absence
setup is
calendar one?
just no. Absence calendar is just for viewing the calendar. If you don't have the access to view the calendar, then how will you apply? If you have access to
Okay.
request time off, if you don't have access to absence calendar, then how?
Okay. So what are the things that can be controlled from absence calendar? Like if it is a BP, it must have some approver or some validations or something. So what are the
No
things that
approval
can
is
we
required.
control?
Like why approval is required, Abhishek? Tell me one thing. Like
No, no,
for
I'm
absence
asking if
calendar.
there's a BP, just to open this,
Mm-hmm.
if there is a BP, just to open this page, if there is a BP
Mm-hmm.
associated with, so what is the purpose of that BP? What if there is no approval or if we don't cannot put any validation in that? So what is the purpose of
Just
that
for
BP?
accessing the calendar. Yeah, just for accessing the calendar, Abhishek. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So once the calendar setup is done, then I think we can go to time of plans. So I think you know request time off also you have the I explained you right when you go to the business process policy you can give for whomever you want to give access to, like you know if you don't want to give to uh, certain set of employees you can remove them, and for generally you will give for all employees as well, and if you want to include contingent workers you can add that group as well to the business process policies. And next comes like, shall we start with leaves or like time off plans?
Let's start with Eddie. Like, so with the first time off, then leave.
Okay, fine then. So, so prerequisites for creating a time off plan is first we, I think you know, right? We can create an accrual. We can create an accrual directly from the plan itself, but like you know, I just go with like creating the accrual before itself. See, in the calculations part, have you created any calculations? Or directly you have given like okay this for example like 120 hours if you want to give or 180 hours if you want to give, directly you have given amount like quantity. Have you used this calculations? Hello.
We have not used, but the
Mm-hmm.
vendor has configured multiple calculations. Like we have not created by our own. So we wanted to know
Okay.
about this, like what calculations can do. Like there are several options.
Yeah. So create absence balance means even I didn't work much on this, like create absence balance, absence calculation. So mainly like you know I have worked on logical calculation and conditional calculation. So those are the main things like you know what we use in current time of current accruals. So arithmetic calculations will just see like whatever I have worked on it. I'll tell you. See, arithmetic is nothing but how we use this calculated fields. Like, you know, arithmetic calculation we have right in calculated fields. You have idea of calculated fields?
Yeah. So what type of calculated fields are available over here? Like all the calculated field
Here,
or the some? Yeah, yeah. In this option.
here you are saying?
Yeah, yeah. You said na calculated field. So what I like there are
No, no.
calculated fields. Mm-hmm.
These are calculations, not the calculated fields, but I'm saying I'm just relating to that, like how we have calculated fields.
Okay.
In the same manner, we have arithmetic calculation. I mean, like same process will be there for arithmetic calculation. I said.
Okay. So what are the fields that are available for calculation? Let's say we have job, family, cost center, FT. So there are many things related to employee. So if you have
Yes.
some requirement like where on the basis of some fields related to an employee,
Like,
you want to make some different calculations,
see,
right?
you can see
Some
here, right?
condition.
Absence related fields in, yeah, absence related common compensation. Like, job, family, you were asking me, job, family, cost center, hierarchy, pay group, payroll related things. So, absence related means like, mm, yeah, his balance. So, all those fields will be there. You can see here the categories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, those fields will be available in this. So, you can see here time off related no items are there. See here. This is a conditional calculation, but when you go into this again, instance. So these are the fields which will be available like according to our requirement, whatever you want, like if you want to sum or like if you want to difference, if you want to use difference or whatever multiply, you can use this. As of now, what requirement I should take? I'm thinking. Mm, yeah, you can give it like this, like if you are giving 20 days accrual, like out of that employee should be given like monthly this much accrual should be given, like so how you are going to calculate that? For example, if you are giving like 40 days of accrual to them, so 40 divided by 12, like this is like simple thing, but if you want to go into in depth also, you can go like if the requirement is different, like as of now I just got this in my mind, so I'm explaining you this one as a sample. Like if you want to divide this 40 days into 12 and according to that you have to give monthly accrual, then you can use this. So I'll just use absence and payroll, generally we use for both.
Our system, it's not generally that straightforward. It's like always based on some condition. If employees are like it's a
Yeah,
legal firm,
we'll
so if a
go into
lawyer,
that.
lawyer
Sure. So we'll go into
that's
that
it.
as well, sure. So if you want to
So
go
don't you
into
have
like
any
arithmetic, it is like
documentation
very simple.
explaining? Yeah,
Sorry, what?
conditional calculation. Yeah, don't you have anything like that can explain all the most of these calculations? Like there are, you can see a lot of calculations over here, like create accrual, arithmetic calculation, aggregate calculation, like many options are there. So when to use what, we don't have any idea, right?
See, when to use, yeah, when to use what means that depends on what requirement we get, Abhishek. Mostly, like I have used conditional, logical, and instance set comparison is there, right? So we have used that.
So yeah, first we have to know what are the options available in our systems. Then we can say whether that particular requirement can be done or not done. So that's why I wanted to know
Yes,
like what are the calculation available in our system which we can do. So for that we need to know each of the calculation, right? The
yes.
conditional, aggregate, lookup, some lookup is there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to like get back to you on those things as well. Like before that, like whatever I have worked on it, I can explain you. Okay.
Okay, that will work. Yeah.
Okay. First thing is this is like a it's not like a BP, but the thing is like we'll specify the order, and under one condition we can create again multiple conditions. Like here we have conditional calculation. Generally, I'll explain you a scenario. Like I think when I'm giving my demo class, I told you right. Like if the employee is hired, like this is like real time scenario which I have worked on it. If the employee is hired in this so and so month, he should be given the result is different. And if he is working on different shift, what should be his result? Like how many days you are going to give? If he is working on different project, then how you are going to give him the result? So that things are there. So we'll go and check that how we do. Just a second. మమ్మీ 10 బంద్ చేసేమో ఒకసారి బంద్ చేసేవా కింద స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ చేయి ఖాళీ అది మోటార్ ఖరాబ్ అవుతుంది మమ్మీ ప్లీజ్ ఆఫ్ చేయవా Hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you able to hear me? Okay, fine.
Yes.
So what I'm doing is here, yeah, we are comparing the month actually. So you can see here month, worker hire date, month, right?
Is it delivered field or we need to create this field? Month, worker, hire
This is
date.
delivered. No, this is delivered field. This is worker workday on, right?
Okay.
So what I'm doing is worker. I told you, right? If it is in the month of January, what you have to do. So here,
Mm-hmm.
this will be like hire month equal to hire month is Jan. So in the same manner,
So
we
can
have
we
to
get the
create for
list
each
like
and
what
every.
is the can we get the list like what
Sorry.
are the fees? Let's say hire date month is available. So is there any documentation over community or anywhere like what are the fees that we can use to make calculations?
No, I
Okay.
think you can no, you won't get the fields actually. Like when you start working, then you will find like what are the fields existing in the system, but nowhere in the community also you'll find what are the fields existing, which are owned by Workday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here like you can give it as like put as like 40 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the same manner, you have to create for every like every month, and this is an example for month. I mean like month-wise data if you want to give, and if you want to go with the project, the same thing you have to do. So we have to search actually. The thing is, in each and everything you won't find because higher month you can see like what I was doing. I have shared my screen, right? I was searching for what is a calculation what I have to use because the same thing like the higher month field which is not existing in some of the calculations you have seen, right? I have searched for first instance at calculation, I didn't find that. Then instance value calculation, I didn't find that higher month, and finally I went to value comparison calculation, and in that I found that okay, higher month is there.
So there must be some logic
So
like
that
why hire month is available in that particular calculation, not in the other calculation.
because that is a value related, right? Higher month, it is giving some value related. This is instance.
So
So
what will
what
come in instances?
instances it will be different, like for example, if you are doing some event that is counted as an instance, right? This is value is different from instance. Like we have single instance, multi instances, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in the same manner, this is called as instance. So under logic, this is like true or false. No, like you go here, it's like filter option, like and or we can use, and under that also we can use again some more calculations. The same calculations we can create.
Okay, let's say we have one requirement like where number of days of like there is a number of days a worker work in a week. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
need to so we have to do some calculation like number of days divided by 5 into the total entitlement. Let's say if he works 5 days a week, then he will get the full entitlement. Let's say 30 is the entitlement, and 5 by 5 into 30. If he works 4 days, then 4 by 5 into 30. So there is one requirement
That
that you
is
have to do.
like how it is related to time off. Then time off is given annually, right? So you are giving according to the
No,
hours
no,
he
so
worked on.
not ours. This is time off only because the entitlement will be like a number of days he work in a week divided by 5
Mm-hmm.
into total entitlement. Let's say if some person is working 5 day a week, then he will get the full entitlement. for the year. Let's say the full
Mm-hmm.
entitlement is 30, he will get 30. If someone is working 4 days a week, so it will be 4 by 5
Mm-hmm.
into 30, which comes around 24. So he will get 24
Mm-hmm.
in for the whole year. So that is one of the
Okay,
requirement.
we
How to
can
do that?
use like,
It's not for hours. It's not from the schedule hours. It's number of days.
so the result should be different actually, because that depends on result, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, it will involve arithmetic calculations and field which will give you a number of days. So how to do this?
Number of days not worked, actual number of days worked. So actual number of days worked divided by how much? 5.
Is it for a week or some for the whole calendar year? Actual number of days worked. We need for a week, like from the schedule.
Number of days
It's
from
for the
hire date to current calendar. So this is not for
it's for,
a week actually. Okay. Yeah, we have to see for
we
a week, right?
yeah.
If you don't have any default field, I think we need to create a field, like, in how many working days will be there for employee. So divided by that.
How to do that? Like how to create a field?
We have to see, otherwise we have to create custom field or something. Let's see first. If we don't have, then we'll go with that option. Days count for current month.
Hello,
Yeah, Abhishek.
hello.
Hello. Abhishek, I'm able to hear you.
Okay, okay, that's fine. We are not able to. We were not able to hear you.
Mhm. So we have this week thing over here, but we have to check what is the exact field, what we want to take. Okay. But we have already a week. We can find so many fields are there. So I'm sorting out like which field we have to take.
Okay.
So you want week
If you
wise
don't
only,
get
right?
any, yeah, that was the requirement.
So you didn't find any week related things while
No,
you were
we didn't find
calculating?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can see, right?
Number
Number
of
of
days.
working days per week is there.
So is it delivered field
Yeah.
or is a delivered field?
No, this
Automatic
it's
calculation.
not delivered field, but the thing is like it is already done.
Okay. Current balance period again. The first operand is schedule work days in current balance period divided by number of weeks worked in current. I'm not sure like whether it will return the same thing which correlation will be. It was not there in our tenant, I guess. Let's go calculate. Feel
Mhm.
that.
Can you check today? Like I think so, it will be there because if it is not done by Workday owned or something like that, but you will find it. Number of working days per week.
Okay, we'll check and come get back to you. Even you can try if you get something, then let us know. We'll
Yeah,
see if
sure.
this
Yeah,
field is
yeah,
available.
sure. The thing is, it will be different from one tenant to other tenant, right? Yeah. You try in your tenant, even I'll check in my tenant as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, this is not the exact one what we require, right? And again, from top of this, you wanted one more thing, right? What is that? Weekly days divided by 5 into 30, right? You can do one more arithmetic calculation on top of this, right?
Right, right, right. Only challenge was to find
Yeah. Only
actual
thing is
like
like you
number
to
of days.
find this one, right? Yeah, if you want to create again, you have to do this one. This field is available, I think so.
Number
This
of
must be
working days
Workday
per
own, I'm
week.
thinking. Like, yeah.
So I will note.
Just
1 minute.
check
I will
once
note
and
it
let
down.
me know, yeah.
Number of days per week. Working days per week. Okay.
Just check in your tenant. If not, like if you're not finding anything, just let me know. We'll work on that, okay?
Okay, fine.
The thing is for this absence calculation, that's why I told you for accrual, it takes lot of time. To finding this fields only, it will take lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll check for this instance at comparison. So you were saying cost center or something, right? Let's try with this cost center. So instance set is nothing but like how we are using what do you say, single instance fields, right? When you are trying to select something in filter, the same process is there in the create instance set comparison calculation as well. Like if you want to filter out the cost centers, so I don't know what cost centers are existing in this tenant. uh, see, yeah. So what conditions we can give is like if the cost center and if the people who are existing in this three cost centers, then the result for them should be like different accrual. For them, this should be only 30 days if you want to give, then you can define it in this way. And if you want to define
Mm-hmm.
it at project level, I think so you can define this at project level as well. Let's see, like, so if you know the tenant and the options, like, uh, what projects you have and what are the things you have. Not much familiar with this tenant because like this is a like testing tenant, right? So I don't know what projects and what are the things there in this tenant. So once you try this thing like instance set comparison and arithmetic, as like today we have seen, right? And that number of working days today you try, and we'll see other calculations like tomorrow. Okay. So here what we have defined is if the project time, if the entire time they are working on full-time project, like entire day they are working for only one project, then their time of balances will be different, like accrual will be different. If they are working for half time, that will be different. So this is just an example. So today I have explained you this calculation and instance that I have explained you, and value comparison and arithmetic calculation. And condition also, this is the conditional calculation. Most of the times we'll go with conditional calculation because like here you can add multiple conditions at a time, and you can give the accruals whatever you want to give. And here you can see it as default response, right? So default response is nothing but if the employee is not coming in any of this calculations, then the default response you can give it as like any, like zero or whatever you want to define. Okay. Okay, this priority thing, I think now we can give any number, but the thing is, according to the priority, the time of or like accruals will be triggered. So adjustments by override values is nothing but when you want to override any employees time off, not time off, accrual thing, then when you enable this only, you should be able to uh, edit them. Otherwise, you can't do any overrides for any employee. If for existing employee you got
Override
like
means
20 hours of time off.
so what exactly override will do? Like it will change the
Yeah, that's what I'm
accrual balance.
explaining you. Yes, we can
Okay.
change the accrual balances. For example, like 20 days is given by mistakenly, like default response is like 20 days, right? And if the manager comes and says
Mhm.
you like I want him to get like 25 days, can you make it to 25 days? So if you want only single person to make it to 25 days, it's like you can't change the entire plan for one person, right? So what you can do is you can override his time, override his accrual balance.
So how to do that? Like
So when you enable this, ob- uh, uh, like obviously you'll get that option to override. For example, if you go to any employee, for example, this is the employee, if you see,
mhm.
go to actions. So here are nothing, but we have a task called as like, so you have to go to this task. Generally for employee only it will show, because like I am working on his profile, and for this employee only if I want to change, that is the reason I don't have access to change. Like if I am the owner of my account, and if I want to change my time of balance, how can I do that? I can't change it, right? So absence administrator or absence partner should be able to do it. That's why what I'm doing is I'm doing for other person. David is there, right? For this person I'm doing. So what I'm doing is you have to select either accrual or time off. So time off is, if you select as accrual, you can change the accrual. If you select the time off, you can do changes to the time off. For example, he has taken like 5 days. For example, I have taken like 5 days, but I didn't enter into Workday those 5 days in my last month. So absence partner got to know that okay, this person hasn't entered his 5 days. So what they should do is like either they should request for the employee to apply for time off, or else if he's not applying time off, what they can do is they can just go and deduct his balance. So deducting the balance, how you can do is like first thing is you have to select the time off, not the accrual. Okay, here we have time off, right? So you can select the time off and how many units you want to give. For example, if you want to delete like his 5 days of time off, you can give, and you have to define the period for which period he didn't apply. 2019, like last month he didn't apply. So I can, 6th month, right? Okay, 6th month. Reference date will be 1, and position and batch your wish that you can give, and you can put the comment as like correction admin, I like absence administrator correction. Okay, so like this you can do. And uh, so whatever time of plan you have created, and if you have accrual for that, and you have to select accrual if you want to add. This is for deducting the balance, this is for adding the balance, accrual. So
This particular
accrual,
time of correction will appear on absence calendar of an employee.
no, absence calendar they can't see, they can see in the view time of balance.
Okay, only the balance will get deducted
Yeah, only
if
the
you apply
balance
this
will
annual
be
leave.
shown. Not all these calculations will be shown to the employee, because employee won't have access to all this maintain accrual time of adjustment overrides,
No,
because
no.
he can't see all those things. He can see only balance.
Okay. I was asking on
Okay.
the absence calendar where they apply a leave. So for this
Mm-hmm.
annual leave time off, you have deducted like 5 minutes of days
No,
for
they
him.
can't
So
see.
can this
They can't.
entry only they will see their
No.
balance has been reduced by 5, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because we are not specifying on which date, from which date to which date he was on leave. If you want to specify that, I think you have to directly apply, or you can go through an EIB. We have an EIB for adjusting time of balances. You can go to that, and through EIB you can define the dates as well. On this so and so date he was on leave. So if you give that, then through EIB, then a employee will be able to see in his calendar. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So this thing is for accrual. So this is annually, right? So yeah, that's it. So if you check that option, like if you can see here, I can show you this as an example. See, allow input is there, right? This is defined as yes. So if it is yes only, you should be should be able to should be able to override this accrual. Otherwise, when that option is disabled, you won't be able to override that accrual. Okay, that is a use of overrides. Okay, so this has been added, but this 5 days is not deducted from me. This is monthly one. The time off itself is not seen in this list.
What are these options front loaded based on as of date? None.
Yeah, I'll explain you like tomorrow. Abhishek, all these things like
Okay.
front loader
Yes.
based on as of date. Okay.
Okay. Let's
This page is expired. So please try those conditional calculation or whatever fields today we have explained. So if you have any doubts, let me know. The other calculations I'll tell you. And you were asking me fields, right? Fields, though I can't give you. I can't tell you what are the fields existing because you have seen, right, how many fields are there in the calculations part. So I can't tell you like exactly what field is existing in the system. Okay, because it varies from one tenant to other tenant. Only Workday own fields I think we can see, but other things that will differentiate.
So we
Okay.
cannot create like let's take an example. Let's say shift is not available in absence calculation. We cannot see work shift
Mm-hmm.
over there. Let's take an example. So can't we can we
Mm-hmm.
make that field available over here, like in the absence calculation? Is there any mechanism to do
See,
that?
No, no. Whatever fields are available only we can use them. So apart from that, almost like everything will be available. But the thing is like we need to search. As I told you, like we need to search what type of calculation we have to use. Because if you can see
Mm-hmm.
here, shift is there. Shift is only available for instance. Okay, we have to see
Mm-hmm.
what type of calculation we have to see. Most of the fields will be
We
available,
have to
Abhishek. Whatever
we have to
requirements you are
select.
getting with. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.